Welcome to the shop. My name is Frank, and we're doing a build. This is a Tipoararie by Scott Anderson. It's one of his kits. It's laser cut short kit. He sent it to me to work out the kinks, to build it, and then report back to him on how to make it better. So, there are a couple of things I've run across that we're going to have to change, but that's neither here nor there. Easy fix. So what I'm doing today is I've gone through my stash of retracts because I fly in SPA pattern, and believe it or not, we are going to start talking about using retracts in our aircraft. So this is an airplane that I'll be flying this year into 2020. And then also in 2021. So I wanted to dig out the retracts and build this one for retracts. Now, it's always best to do this early in the game so you don't get something built and have to go back and tear something apart. So I've dug out my retracts, and I'm using Rhom Aire. I like Rhom Aire Retracts because they're very easy to set up. But this here is a nose gear, and I'm trying to figure what's the best way to do the nose on this thing. So what I've got what's called a firewall mount. This is going to go right behind the firewall. So the thing I've got to check out and make sure is, do I have room for all this inside the fuselage? And it looks like I'll be doing really good. Looks like it'll fit perfect. So what I'm going to have to do is I've got to cut a firewall and then take these pieces here. This is the floor of the tank compartment. I'm going to need to notch this out because the cylinder is going to have to go up into that area right there. So I'll notch this out. That's the only concern that I have there. I like the way these things snap together, and this tab lock system, and it makes it so much easier to build a plane. So I know my nose gear will work. And I know I've got my main gear, and I've got left and right, and I've got struts, I've got tubing, I've got tank, valves, everything. So I'm good with the retracts. So the next thing I want to concentrate on is the retract and the engine mount, because the retract has to bolt in from the back side of the engine mount of the firewall, and then the firewall bolts into the front of the firewall. So you've got 4 sets of screws coming through, and where are they going to go? So you need to work that out before you go too far. Okay, I've gone to my storage, and I've gotten out the engine I'm going to be using on this airplane, which is brand new 61 or 65 AX. That's going to sit right in there. Now, also I went and checked, made sure I had a glass mount for it, and so happens to be is that the 65 has got the same footprint as a 61 SF. So I've got an engine mount right here that'll work just perfect. So I'm going to tell you, it is so much better if you keep your supplies around your house, around your shop, so that when it's time to thing, get here. Now, Dave Brown, they've got the engine label. They put these screws in here. Yes, those, just throw those away. And then you can take your engine and look at there, sets right down in that motor mount. Perfect. Couldn't be any better than that. So, and then that will go in here at an angle. This could be, engine will be sitting on its side. Now, you never want to start building your plane unless you got your engine in your hand. Because there's so many things have to take into account to put that engine in there. And you want to do it while you still got your wood available to drill the holes. So, okay, now this thing is going to be coming right along. Now, make some changes. And when you receive your kit, if you order it, number, because this hole will not be there. This will be here because you'll slide your tank right through that. And this will be made out of 1/4-inch plywood instead of 1/8. The firewall is 3/8 plywood. Which gives me an idea. I will show it to you when I do it. So as of right now, let's get to work. Or go over what we've gotten done today so far. The first thing we did was we did away with this bulkhead that went right here. This hole cut here is right where the hole goes for the wing connection. There's supposed to be a dowel that goes through a hole in this part that holds the wing on. So we made a new one of those. The other thing we've gotten done, and this is what took most of the day, was the engine mount and retract. Now the engine mount, I don't know if you can see this, but you'll see it again later. The engine is supposed to be mounted sideways in this airplane. However, with the little pre-planning, you can plan for your engine to be mounted at a little bit of an angle. Like this, so that when you put your muffler on, it extends out past the fuselage and is completely out of the way. Whereas if you mounted the engine straight 90 degrees, the muffler would be under here and you'd have to cut out the side of the fuselage for it to fit. This airplane originally wasn't designed for a muffler. It was designed for a tuned pipe. So anyway, we've gotten the location made. We've got the motor mount mounted in here. We've gotten our location for our retract, and we've got it set in here. And it will operate just like that. It'll fold up inside the belly of the fuselage and then come down. So a lot of today has been spent on measuring and adjusting and making everything fit and be straight. Because don't forget, you just can't screw the motor mount to the firewall because the motor mount has to mount to the spinner, which is on the front of the airplane, which is in a special spot. But anyway, we got all this done, and very happy with the way it is so far. I have not glued the fuselage together yet. Everything is just sitting here pushed together, and so that I can kind of get an idea of the fit. And so far I'm very happy with it. Scott has done an excellent job on the CAD work on this airplane. It seems to be fairly going together pretty well. So, till next time, this is Frank signing off. Let's keep it on the runway, sunny side up and the wheels down. Y'all have a good night.